What's going on, guys? It's your boy Trolltech here. Welcome to the channel. Today we are doing a special video interview that's going to be available for you guys on YouTube for the first time. Because usually I put them on Patreon, but today we're going to give you some... I'm going to give you it for free today on YouTube. So yeah, but if you do want to be in a place where you get a lot of extra content, album reviews, interviews, variety shows, all of that beautiful extra stuff that you probably want me to react to, it's probably already been reacted to on Patreon. So if you want to go to a place that has a nice atmosphere with extra content, you know, go over to Patreon. There's good stuff on YouTube as well, always. But if you want extra stuff, if you want One Tees or Run BTS or Skz Code or anything like that, it's all on Patreon. But before we get into that, let's talk about what's happening on Patreon right now. Bro, what was that laugh, bang? That was the most dad laugh I've ever heard in my life. What was that, you old man? I know he's a year younger than me, but like still, he's an old man. I'm not an old man. He is. Wait, Hongjun. Chill, because if you've watched my previous reaction, as a rapper Hongjun, I really enjoy Hongjun. So we've got to really dissect that. But what I want to talk about is Jongho's fucking vocals. Absolutely, like he's only had a few moments, but even these few moments, his voice is so nice. Okay, Sungmin. Okay, Sungmin. Oh my god, Sungmin, bro. So today, we're getting into 25 questions with Stray Kids. So without further ado, let's get into the video in 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Okay, wait, let's look at our boys. Let's look at our boys. Okay. They all look good, but let's talk about them a bit. Chan looks like a rich, wealthy, retired mother in her early 60s. That's just done with raising her kids. She's like, I'm done. I'm just gonna chill and vibe. That's what he looks like. Han gives me Tiger JK vibes. That's, you know, I think it's the hat, the beanie that does it. Hyunjin, that jacket is way too big on him, but like maybe that's the style. He looks good. He looks good in anything. Ian, not sure how I'm feeling about those shoes right now, Ian. Because why are you wearing soccer mum shoes? But that's a whole other thing. You look good. You look good as always. Felix looks like he's come from like an industrial fantasy book based in the 1800s. Like he looks so good. He looks amazing, but he does look like a fantasy character. Like the clothes, really. You know, I feel like he's a detective in 1800s like London. You know, Lena looks amazing. Usually I wouldn't, that style is like, it's not it, but it looks amazing on Lino. Sungmin, again, he's giving me the same vibes as Chan. He looks like a retired wealthy mother in her 60s and she's like, I'm done with raising kids. Changbin looks, he looks like he could beat me up, is all I'm saying. He looks like if I saw him on the street, I'd be like, okay, I'm just going to go the other way. I'm good. I'm like, okay, he looks good, but he looks terrifying at the same time. It's interesting fits. I like him. It suits them, but they're interesting. They're so different to what they usually. Bro, Lino looks so good though. Oh, I like Channy's hair here though. 25 questions with Stray Kids. Bro, I feel like Stray Kids love bucket hats for some reason. They're always wearing them. There's like 3 bucket hats here. So this is in Japan, I guess?
Let's
get started. Oh yeah, because Lina's a Japanese speaker. What's your favorite part of your body?
저의 신체 부위는 얼굴입니다.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. What's your most frequently used emoji? I don't use emojis too much at all, so I use maybe one emoji, laughing face. And the only reason I use the laughing face emoji is because like I can't be fucked. Sometimes I can't be fucked answering like properly. I'm like, hey, what do I say to this? I find this thing funny or something, but I don't know what to say. I'm just laughing face emoji. Or saves me all the time. What do you say? Bowling. Interesting. Jungbin's like, why am I here? Just a sucker. What animal would you? Quokka. Like, it's not even a question. What do you have on here? Like, wait, Han Loki looks like I don't want to be here. Han's like, I do not want to do this interview right now. He just does not look like in the mood, to be honest. What do you have on hand besides your wallet and phone?
일단 현금 계속 들고 다니고.
Do you know, like, I actually never carry cash because like all money that you have now is just digital, right? Like, to me, when I have cash, cash is money that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, if I have cash, that money is just going to be disposable. Like, I'll spend it on whatever. Like, I don't care. It's not money that exists to me. If it's not in my bank account, then it's not money that exists at all. It's just money to spend. You know, that's how I view that.
캐시 항상 들고 있습니다.
What's always in your eggs? It's got to be eggs. A sports drink. Interesting. I guess they're like dancers and performers, so it makes sense.
필승 포즈?
It's the dimple. You alright, Jungmin, bro?
내 말버릇 같은 거 이거.
Yeah, it's got to be on 5.
이게 말버릇인 것 같습니다. 맨날 매워요.
Oh, he does do that. Yeah, he does that all the time, actually, and he tilts his head as well every time. But on 5 is a catchphrase. I love Lino doing that.
내 말버릇 같은 거.
He did it pretty good. I'm 5. He did a pretty good accent.
네, 이게 말버릇인 것 같습니다.
Yeah, he always does that. Like, he does that like old man sucking of breath. You know when like two old men are talking, they're always like, you know, the amount. Sungmin's infecting me, bro. It's Sungmin's fault. He's blinding me. He keeps calling Bang Chen old so much that I've picked up his lingo now, even though Bang Chen's almost like 2 years younger than me.
애니메이션을 보는 거예요.
Yeah, the boys, anime. That's what I'm talking about. That's why me and Lino are boys for real.
아니메.
I feel like that's low-key why Lino learned Japanese. Like, obviously it's like, oh, I'm trying to help my team out by learning a language, but I feel like it was low-key like, I like anime, so I want to watch Japanese. I want to learn Japanese. Like, I feel like that was 60% of the reason, and no one can convince me otherwise. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Anyway.
좋아하는 일본어요?
Favorite Japanese phrase?
다이스키. 다이스키.
Daisuke. Of course it is. Of course that's your favorite, Jungbin. Made you laugh out loud recently.
웃었던 적이요? 아까 나 얼굴 보고 웃던데. 뭐 가장 많이 웃었던 것보다는 그냥 매일 멤버들과 장난치면서 웃는 것 같습니다. Yes.
Oh, very politician ends. He's like, I'm not going to answer that. So it's like, oh, we always make each other laugh. You know, I've noticed that actually they're becoming more professional almost in their interviews, which I guess is a byproduct probably of like the way people respond to them sometimes when they're open. You know, like, because I've seen, because they're so open, like sometimes they get hate by not fans, but just dickheads. So I can see them start to like, in their newest stuff, I can see them start to be a bit more withdrawn in interviews and stuff. When they're together and they do their variety shows, they're still fine. But like when it's like interviews, official stuff like this, they're a bit more withdrawn and they try to have politician answers a bit, which it makes sense. I get it. Wait, what was the question? When was your last screw up? Okay.
아 맞네. 오늘 아침에 그 여기 위에서 준비하다가 푸딩을 뜯었는데 제 옷에
Spilled everywhere. Oh, that's the worst, bro. When I was I'll tell you a little story. When I was in primary school, and for people that don't know, primary school, I guess the equivalent is like elementary. I was in grade 3, maybe 2, so I would have been, I don't know, 7 or 8. I can't remember. And my school uniform was just fully white t-shirt, right? And they would sell these big chocolate milks at my school. But when to open it, you got to like bring it up, right? So it's easy for it to splash. And I remember one time I opened it and I pushed too hard because it wasn't opening, and it just ripped, or the whole thing ripped open and just spilled all over my white shirt. And so I just had this big brown mark on my shirt. And it was at like 11 a.m. still, so it was like early in the day, so I still was at school till 3 p.m. So the whole day I had just a brown stained shirt at school. Oh my god, that was so embarrassing. The amount of comments I said, it's like, oh, what happened there? Did you miss it in the toilet? And I was like, fuck off, please. That was the worst.
지금 크림색이 되었습니다. 와우. 디자인. 예, 디자인. 좋아요.
What are you doing, John?
아, 이거 좀 못해요.
These guys are savages. They're like, what am I bad at? And he's like, everyone's like, games. Your one hobby. His one massive hobby is like, yeah, you're terrible at games. They even made the joke similar, where I think Sungmu was saying, how are you still bronze on League of Legends? You've been playing this much. This is like the amount of shit they give him for not being fully good at games. Just because you're not good at games doesn't mean you can't love playing games. You know what I mean? Because I think that's true.
게임이라고 생각합니다. 또 그냥 재밌게 하는
Yeah, exactly. You just play for fun.
뭐 프로 게이머도 아니잖아요.
Like when I play games, I don't play games to win and do this and be like, oh, I'm gonna get the best thing. That's why I'm not too much of like an Overwatch or an FPS or like thing. I have played Overwatch, but I'm not too FPS and like competition style games too much, because I'm just like, I play games to have fun and just enjoy it. That's why online games I'm not the biggest fan of, is because it gets so toxic, and I'm just like, I'd rather I usually play single player games, or like I play games with friends sometimes, but outside of that, if I'm not playing games with friends, I don't really play online games or, FPS style games. Like the one online game I guess I really play and I am competitive in is World of Warcraft, just because I've been playing that since I was like 8 years old. So I've been playing it for 20 something years, and I just can't give it up. It's like a drug, right? But other than that, most games I play like single player, like Red Dead Redemption, Skyrim, those type of games. Like a game I really want to play that I still haven't played is Final Fantasy 16, because I don't have the PlayStation 5 and I can't play on it right now. So I'm waiting to borrow my brother's PlayStation 5 so I can play it, but I haven't played it. I'm so excited to play that though. Yeah. What's something you're surprisingly good at? Baseball? I think it's not that surprising though. Eating dog food? What?
그런 거 해야겠다. 사실 강아지를 잘 못 다루는데 같이 잘 놀아줄 수 있어요. 오, 사랑하기 때문에.
좋은 사랑이다.
옷 이쁘다. 예쁘다.
잘생겼다.
예쁘지 않아. 안무 선생님이 개인적으로 톡이
Well, to be fair, Bang Changer just complimented you now, so that would be Bang Changer said. He said you look good. That's a compliment.
오셔가지고 콘서트 아예 다 끝나고 개인적으로 톡이 오셔서 칭찬해 주셨어요.
Bro, I love Hyunjin's little mullet. That looks so cool. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? Tired, overworked, stressed. It's got to be those 3. He's not gonna say that though.
늙은이. 찌장.
He went in both languages, like grandpa, Ji-chan, which is grandpa in Japanese.
찌장. 부초. 파이저.
Okay, just lead up. Yeah. What do you love more than anything else? His cats.
인생에서 가장
His
좋아하는
cats.
것은 스테이입니다, 여러분들.
Okay. Stay. Let's be honest. He wasn't being honest there. Let's be honest. Like I'm sure they love State. Don't get me wrong, but let's be honest. My man Lino, if there was a fire, he would save his cats. Is all I'm saying. Let's be honest about that. You know, he would save his cats, which I get. I'd save the cats as well.
인상 깊었던 멤버와의 추억이요? 일본에 오기 전에 현진이와 볼링 친 거요?
How you gonna do my boy Bang Chen like that? Of course he was gonna say something about Hyunjin. Which members? Oh, is Changbin like really good at bowling or something? They've just been going on bowling dates or something, these two. Which member are you most similar to? Ooh. Okay, I'll give you what I think he's gonna say and what I think. I think, personally, I think he's most similar to Bang Chan. Just because it feels like Bang Chan raised him, you know what I mean? In like being an idol, because like he took Han in first and taught him a bunch of shit. And I think that's why I think he's most similar to Bang Chan when it comes to like creative stuff and the way he kind of responds to work and stuff. If what I think he's gonna say, like Hyunjin or something, I feel like. Oh, but maybe not, because he's looking towards Bang Chan, so maybe he's gonna say Bang Chan. I don't know, we'll see.
찬이 형이랑 저랑 닮았습니다.
사이야크.
누구한테 손해야?
윈윈이지 저도. 둘 다 윈윈이지. 윈윈.
아 윈윈?
여기 내가 끼면 내가 손해지.
What are you gonna do my boy Han like that? What does that even mean? Okay. He's obviously fucking around, but I'm just trying to see what, like... Cause even the rest of them were like, what the fuck? Like, so, that was interesting.
그럼 형이 JYP? JYP?
Wait, what did he say?
그럼 형이
He said JYP.
JYP?
Nah. Bro, are we sure it's a joke at this point? Are we sure Changbin's joking at this point? Because every time they mentioned it, they've made this joke so many times in interviews, like, oh, who would you collaborate with? And like they make the JYP joke, and Changbin's expression every time is the same one. Are we sure it's a joke still? Like I feel like the other guys are joking around, but I'm not sure about Changbin anymore, to be honest. That man does not look pleased.
JYP? No way. No way? 저는 개인적으로 뭔가 Kendrick Lamar 아니면
Ooh, okay. I like Post Malone a lot. People give him hate for whatever reason, but I like Post Malone. What's your latest discovery at a Japanese? Oh, when I went to Japan, at the convenience store there was this thing. It was dough, right? But inside was like, you could get two versions. It could just be just cheese in it, or there was like a meat and cheese version. I know what it's called though, but I remember every morning, me and my brother, because when we went to Japan together, we were there for like a month. Every single morning, we had a convenience store underneath where we were staying. Every single morning, we would get that for breakfast. It was so good, bro. Like, oh my god, I love that. I don't know what it's called though.
바지락이 들어간 미소 된장국인데 맛있어. 정말 맛있더라고요. 그 미역도 들어가 있고 이 뜨거운 물 부어서 먹는 건데 정말 간단하지만 정말 맛있는 국물 요리였습니다.
아직 락스타.
What's a favorite lyric from one of your songs?
힘들지 않았고 진짜 무식이 뛰어는 건 나니까 오케이. 똑같은 생각.
내 나이대로 살래 내추럴.
What song was that from? Elevator. I haven't listened to Miro yet. What's your favorite dance from one of your songs? I really like the dance from Venom a lot. Thunderous was really cool as well. What was that other one? I can't remember. There was one more. I can't remember what song it was. Anyway.
타이틀곡의 안무입니다. 야.
What, S-Class? S-Class, yeah.
그냥
군것질 좋아.
그냥 그렇게 태어난 거예요, 여러분.
It's naturally ingrained, bro.
약간 스킨케어 같은 거
You gotta have a skincare routine.
행복하면 그렇게 멋있다고 생각합니다.
행복지수 파일.
정말 행복하면 자기만의 자신감을
Yeah. It's confidence. It's simply confidence. I don't know. When you have confidence, people gravitate towards you. That's just what it is. Like, cause I remember like early in my high school and like school life, I was a kid that just didn't really get involved with people. I just did my own thing. In year 10, somehow, in grade 10, somehow I became like, there was this incident that happened, and after that I was like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just gonna do whatever I want, and just I don't care. I'm not gonna be insecure anymore. When I was 16, I decided that, and then after that, life just became easy. It became easy to make friends, do shit. It's just like it's confidence is everything. It's actually crazy.
나 진짜 행복한데.
알았어.
형 이미 멋있잖아 지금도.
이거 진짜 멋있어.
Oh, wait, chill, Changbin, chill, bro.
저희 스트레이키즈를 선택해줘서 감사합니다.
Bro, I love Channy's hair here. It's so cool. Like all of their hair looks cool. Lee knows as well.
25 questionsでした.
That was cool. I feel like their energy was a bit low this time. Like Lino seemed to be pretty like energetic and hyper, but the rest of them seem kind of like tired as. And I feel like it's probably they're doing concerts, they're doing this interviews, bunch of shit. So it makes sense, but they just seem kind of out of it in this one. But yeah, I feel like the previous interviews I did were a bit more enjoyable. This one seemed a bit like they just seemed really tired, so it didn't seem enjoyable, which is, you know, it's unfortunate. But these guys are so busy, so it makes sense. Like during the interviews, they're just like, I can't be fucked anymore. You know what I mean? I'd be worse probably. I'd just be like, no, I'm not doing an interview, bro. I'm gonna go to bed. But yeah, it was enjoyable. There's still funny moments in it. But yeah, you can definitely see them. They're kind of tired and exhausted and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And be sure, if you want more content, as always, check out my Patreon.
좀잘 들어주긴 하지.
당신은 나한테 그런
Bro, what was that laugh, bang? That was the most dad laugh I've ever heard in my life. What was that, you old man? I know he's a year younger than me, but like still, he's an old man. I'm not an old man. He is. Wait, Hongjun. Chill, because if you've watched my previous reaction, as a rapper Hongjun, I really enjoy Hongjun. So we're going to really dissect that. But what I want to talk about is Jongho's fucking vocals. Absolutely, like he's only had a few moments, but even these few moments, his voice is so nice. Okay, Sungmin. Okay, Sungmin. Oh my god, Sungmin, bro.